Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name's Tanya. I hope that you're having a really nice day. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about perimenopause. Um, I'm no expert in this topic, um, but it's only been, I should say, the last year. I've noticed some changes, happening in my body. I should say that well, I'm 41 now, so I guess, from what I'm hearing, women can start entering perimenopause, anywhere between, it can be as early as 35, um, like even 250. And I noticed that just in the last year, my cycles, although they've been really regular, like clockwork, a few other things are happening that have been a bit different, such as like the breast tenderness. There's been, when I got checked once, I got screened with an ultrasound. They noticed it was my endometrial lining was thicker than it should have been. I think they use the term endometrial hyperplasia. It was kind of getting thicker than it should have been. And I should say this month, I felt a real fullness after ovulation, or whether I even had an ovulation happen. All I can say is these things got me unsurprised. I was not thinking, it would even happen at this age. I always was thinking, women, they go through perimenopause at like in their mid 40s, or I should say 50, early 50s, and then you begin to enter the menopause when your cycle stops, your period stops, and then your body obviously starts to produce less estrogen. I just wanted to share how I decided to try something natural, and I've only just started it yesterday. Sorry, all this has been a bit full on for me. 41, not having children, not having a family yet. This all got me by surprise, Um, you know, us women, we all want to remain young and vibrant and feeling, youthful, sexy, desirable. We all want to feel that way, and hormones do play a big part. But let's face it, they play a big part in how we feel. Hormones certainly do play a big part. How estrogen, we know how estrogen is a hormone that keeps our skin supple. It keeps things lubricated, from the way our skin is, and, other areas you would obviously know. And it's good for, the hair. So I had this sense of I wanted to do something about all of this. And another symptom I'm getting is insomnia. And I've been doing some research. I'm going down a different alternative path, and I'm really doing some research into how in perimenopause, what happens is estrogen will start declining a bit, but then progesterone will drop there can be a drastic drop in progesterone, which can cause some of these symptoms, mood swings, breast tenderness. There can be, I've even heard women, struggling from insomnia, and the endometrial hyperplasia is also an issue when the endometrial lining becomes too thick, because when estrogen is dominant, the endometrial lining is thickening, and then that progesterone is not coming to help balance that out. And then you can get breast tenderness, soreness. I should say there's some of the things I've been experiencing. And I think what I wanted to share is I started reading a book which I've had for a little while in my library. I didn't think I'd need to read this because I've had this since I was 30, this book. And I thought I'm not going to need to read this book until I'm 50. I just wanted to show you the name of it. It's called What Your Doctor May Not Tell You About Menopause by Dr. John Lee. I hope you can see that clearly. If it's coming around, not really that clearly. So it's called What Your Doctor May Not Tell You About Menopause, the Breakthrough Book on Natural Hormone Balance by John R. Lee. He's quite a specialist in natural progesterone. He was prescribing it to women going through perimenopause and menopause. He's calling it here the premenopausal years. And I got really inspired to go down this road of something natural to help. And I've only just started this therapy of starting the natural progesterone that John R. Lee recommends. And you don't even have to be in premenopausal years if you wanted to try this. Even women with really bad PMS and estrogen dominance could even greatly be helped by this therapy. I just wanted to share how it is so vital and critical that a woman has adequate amount of progesterone. It is because, estrogen does need to be balanced. And a lot of these symptoms in perimenopause are a result of estrogen not being balanced by the progesterone, which I really know these are my symptoms right now, and my body's giving me the wisdom that this is what I'm going through. And I took matters into my own hands, and I just started a really awesome high-grade natural progesterone cream by Unas. They make a really good Unas, O-N-A-S, Unas, Unas Luna Pro 10. It's a 10% natural progesterone cream, not derived from soy, but they make it from wild yam. I think wild yam's got a compound in it called diazogen, I think it is what you call it, if I've pronounced it correctly, which converts to natural progesterone. And you take this from about day 14 or 16 to day like when you get your period, which I would take it from day, I've just started on day 16 and will be ending on day 27, the day before I'm due to get my menstrual period. And what I wanted to share, I only just started this last night, because I just have my concerns if all this estrogen's out of hand right now. And I did have a hormone test a year ago, and my estrogen levels, my body was having some trouble excreting the estrogen. Um, my circulating estrogen was a bit high during day 3 of my cycle. A naturopath was working with me, and she was trying to get it all down with like she gave me a formula that had methionine in it. It also had like broccoli sprout powder, taurine, and also encouraged me to take more magnesium and B vitamins, activated Bs, to help the body excrete the excess estrogen. So she worked on that with me last year, and I'm probably backed off with the B vitamins and magnesium, so I really need to continue to take them so my body is able to remove all this excess estrogen. But what I wanted to share is I've really got interested in learning about natural progesterone, because it's often underlooked, and in the you have just before ovulation, obviously there's a surge in estrogen, and then once you ovulate, then there's also is meant to be a surge in progesterone, and this has a very good anti-buffering effect to keep those hormones in balance. And as I was saying, a lot of the symptoms of perimenopause can be when progesterone begins to decline, leading to, the mood swings, the breast tenderness, and you could get insomnia, fluid retention. Even women before the perimenopause, PMS, also struggle. And it's just very vital to keep things in balance. And I've been blessed that I've been led on a path at 41. I want to take the action to do something about this now. I've just, as I said, how you use this is this is a pump, and I disperse one pump, and to place it on soft areas of the skin. I've been putting it, the first application I just put over the tender area on my breast. They're some of the perimenopausal symptoms I'm going through right now, and I was a bit scared of using such a great high-grade solution of natural progesterone. I'm pretty sure this is USP. Make sure if you're going to get a progesterone, make sure it's a USP. This is natural micronized progesterone. I was very scared last night. You might hear the odd story that someone has an allergy to the natural progesterone. The first application, I was excited. I was doing something good for my health and the symptoms I'm going through, but at the same time, there's that question mark, like, what if I have this dreadful reaction to it? And it was my first dose, and I sometimes we can have a placebo effect as well when we start these things, but I must say, and I'm going to make another review of this in another 2 months. This company, they sell this through this was about 51 Australian dollars, and I'm sure it will last 2 cycles. If used from ovulation to the day before my period. What I'm saying is, sorry, I'm having a mental blank. I think what I was saying is it can be a bit scary starting something like this, because your doctor might not agree with this. Doctors often will prescribe HRT or the pill, or they might just think it's all in your head, these perimenopausal years. But I can assure you it's not. I've been doing some looking up on women that are really going through some pretty up and down symptoms right now. It's not all in your head, you know. Um, and this whole perimenopausal thing got me so unsurprised, because I had only just had an ultrasound last year, thinking that I may have had a cyst or something. Now that some months I get my endometrial lining is thicker than what it used to be in my 20s and 30s due to hormone imbalance happening. This all got me unsurprised, because they seen that I'd had 6 follicles in each ovary that were developing. So not having children and seeing that, knowing that I could still at this moment potentially have a child, it's like my body's saying, why am I going through all this perimenopause? I so want to find the right man and just have a baby. And like, people are telling me, you're not going through it. But you know your body, you know some of the things that are different that are happening. And just to take action, get more sleep, stop going around thinking that you have to be this superwoman, and don't take on everyone else's stuff. You know, women are so good. You know, we're the nurturers of society. This is how our Lord created us. We have been made to be the helpers of society. You know, we are the nurturers. We were created to raise the children. You know, and to, you know, can you imagine if our world wasn't balanced like this and we just had men? It would be like a world full of testosterone with not the estrogen to balance out the, you know, the men in the world with all their testosterone. Like, just think about if us women weren't around. This world would just be so crazy, I think, you know. So thank goodness, just thank the Lord He made you a woman, because we do have you know, sorry, I'm all over the place. This is what this perimenopause is doing to me right now. I think what I wanted to say is, I believe perimenopause can be a time of healing. I've just, you know, in the last week, I've been able to revisit my past and realise I was in a very abusive relationship when I was at such a delicate age of 19. At 60, at that time, my goodness, a 64-year-old belted me and bashed me up, and sexually abused me, and I was forced to have an abortion. And now when I look back, I would have really wanted a baby, you know, not to a man like that. But you know, it's like, oh my goodness, my fertility was so highest back then. I was, you know, it's like I was most fertile back then, but it's like some idiot, excuse my language, just stepped on that, didn't value my femininity, or didn't want me to be that beautiful. It's like he didn't want me to be that beautiful, fertile woman that could have a child, and he abused that. He abused it. He did not give a damn. I'd had this like horrible secret relationship with him. That's not that. He did not help me to become a woman. He stepped on that. He took that, and now he's died. He's passed away. I do feel like I have buried that big part of myself. I have buried that part of trauma now. And entering the perimenopausal years has been such a deep shock for me. But now when I'm looking at this, it need not to be, because now it's a time for me to reclaim my true femininity. And this is how I believe women around the planet are going to heal. Our hormonal health can be affected by burying parts of ourselves, by being with thinking you have to stay with an abusive man. You bury and these men, a lot of these dominating men, stop us ladies from really reclaiming our true feminine selves, what we were meant to do on this planet. And let if you are in a very unhappy situation, and you're with a man and pleasing him and doing things that you don't want to do, or you have been sexually abused, a lot of this can affect our reproductive health, and it had done that for me for many years. For years I've had PMS. I'd had dreadful periods. I did not like myself. I felt there was a sense of shame for being a woman. I know I'm bringing up a lot of stuff. A lot of us women are wounded, and it can affect our whole reproductive, our whole vitality as a woman. A lot of us women are just trying to please men for the sake of it, because we just feel so bullied and bulldozed by men. But we set that stage, how men treat us. A lot of the world right now, a lot of women are a lot of feminists today are kind of like wanting to have that power now, which I'm not all against that. But what that has also done, that it's also like carcerated men, and making out as though that we don't need men anymore. We can just we're the ones that have the balls now, kind of thing. That's how women are kind of acting. That's not like, I believe, is really feminine either. I think women on the planet now have to really get in touch with their true feminine selves by healing a lot of this old trauma, and even the trauma of what perimenopause and menopause is. I've been watching these videos. I've heard these poor women. Gosh, I'm nearly in tears from this, because this is horrible how us women view our bodies. A lot of women have just felt these menopause and perimenopause years is like being like dried old sultanas and dried old prunes and being an old like crone. What a horrible thing to say about your body, that you're an old crone, you're going to end up like that. Now that is nonsense. You are going to always shine no matter what through your perimenopause years and your menopausal years. Those words don't scare me anymore. I think our society has degraded menopause as though it's a time of that the woman becomes just nothing but like an old bag, and that is rubbish, just because she cannot please a man sexually anymore. You'll find that I've been researching how there can be more divorce rates during the menopausal years, and that is because some women are discovering themselves at menopause and are realizing they don't have to stay with such an abusive person. So it's not all bad. A lot of women are getting more creative. They're discovering that they don't have to put up with a lot of, they don't have to work all these hours, torture their bodies. Maybe they're not going out experiencing a nice little holiday or a nice trip, because they're just so focused on just always putting themselves last, not taking care of their bodies. So what I wanted to share is that the perimenopause years and the menopausal years can be a time of really beginning to nourish that inner woman that you are and that you deserve to be. I'm also finding comfort in God, the Lord. I'm finding that I believe, I believe that we are created by God. My belief is that the world was once a beautiful place without sin, but I do believe that man has fallen as a result of the fall. Adam and Eve fell due to that temptation. And I believe that it's because of the result of the sin on the planet that, we are in a quite a saddened state. We unfortunately, don't live long on this planet. Well, 100's not very long. As we know, life can just go like a vapor. Within a flash, it can pass. That's why it's so important to really enjoy each day. But I do believe that Jesus came and he died, and that we might, if we believe in him, that he's our saviour, that we will have eternal life, and that there's nothing that can separate us from God. I believe that gives us hope, especially I know as a woman, this is so important to me, because I've always had felt that I was only worth what I could give to a man, like I was only worth my sexuality. I was only worth what to please a man. Now I'm revisiting my past. I thought that I was just this, the only men wanted these fertile women that were full of estrogen, that, had to look a certain way, which, don't get me wrong, our hormones play a part in our well-being, but the female wound, I believe, on this planet right now is the woman thinks she's only worth her fertility, and that beyond that she feels like an old crone or an old bag, or that, as I was just saying, that old dried sultana, which is very, very horrible to use those terms. And we have all done this. This is what's creating a bigger wound. It's our society. It's because we feel that it's only natural that we all want to feel beautiful. And hormones, our steroid hormones, do have a big part to play in vitality. Believe me, I know they do. Because now that I'm feeling that decline in them since I've reached 41, I want to take that action now to heal a lot of that past, to revisit it, and now I'm realizing I had only believed I was only worth because I was a fertile woman. That's all I was. That's not true. We are God's children, whether you have ovaries or not, whether you have big boobs, small boobs, or you're overweight or underweight, or that's not your worth, or whether whether you have more estrogen, or you're going through menopause and you feel you pretty much estrogen's not non-existent anymore in your body. That still doesn't matter. As I was saying, hormones can play a part in things, but you are, you were created to be God's child, and nothing can separate you from God. So this is all started. This is the biggest thing to remember. And it's always good to learn about these things, like these other natural hormone help if you're going through the perimenopausal years. As I was talking about, there is natural progesterone that doesn't cost the earth, that might just help a little bit with these imbalances you're going through right now. I know this is all a lot to take in, and I'm still dealing with my own stuff right now. You know, I'm seriously really dealing with all this. You know, I'm going to end up a dried up old woman one day in the next life, only 10 years. You know, it's like, what if I run out of all this estrogen now and no man's even going to want to look at me because I'll be this like old sultana, dried up sultana. And this is how women are viewing the menopause. And we need to, as a society, stop this and realise, you know, if we believe that, you know, if that's all we believe we are, you know, our cells are going to start feeling bad. We're going to feel bad that we're not worthy. And this is where the mind, body and spirit connection plays a part. I've never really spoke much about this, but I know deep down I haven't really spoke much about, you know, like for myself, I've always felt that my body was not capable of having a baby. I had believed that a lot of my life because I was forced to have an abortion. I was scared to even talk on the topic of pregnancy. It had scared me. But I'm realising that it's not something to be afraid of. You know, the female body has been created for some really amazing capacities. And my sister has taught me so much. She was going through menopause and she managed to have her fifth naturally. She helped her hormonal system with a natural herb called Vitex. She got her periods back and had little Kimball number 5. It's been so amazing. All through the help of getting her body back in balance and believing that she could have her number 5 at 42. It was truly amazing. And yeah, just believe that your body is fearfully and wonderfully made. Even if maybe you're watching this and it's not perimenopause for you, but you're trying to have a baby. You might be 40, you might be 30, you might even only be. And, you know, God has made women all beautiful no matter what stage of life they're in. He's made women all beautiful, I believe. And the more we believe our bodies are fearfully and wonderfully made, I believe no matter what stage we're going through in life, whether it's puberty, you know, you might be in your most fertile years, which I believe every year should be the most fertile years. Actually, I shouldn't have said that. All our years are fertile. But no matter what age, we can all be spiritually fertile. And how does that sound? We can all be glowing no matter what age we are. So that was my video on perimenopause and how you can make it into a really, really nice transition, and how it doesn't have to be that bad. And you know, you might want to go to your doctor, you know, if you just want to get your hormone levels checked like I did last year, to confirm my imbalance that I had. And you know, if you're worried if there's any breast changes or anything changing or any kind of thing you're not sure of, it's always good to get tested, you know, to be on that, to make sure that nothing else is going on. And I just want to say I really wish you really well on your hormone journey. And your body has that ability to get back into balance, and you will be that strong woman that God wants you to be. You just need to believe it, heal your past traumas, and I believe you look after your body by eating well, getting rest, you know, not feeling like you have to take on everything. Be that nurturer you were designed to be, and then I believe your hormonal system will naturally start to shift. You will have that shift. It's amazing what can happen. I was just actually, I know video is going to go on and on, but it's all okay. I want to share my wisdom with you, because this is what I believe my purpose is now. Going through all this trauma in my past, I can now believe I've been able to see things a lot clearly with what happens to women. I don't know what it is. Maybe the Lord has just, I don't know, I'm not trying to say I can see all these things, but a lot of wisdom has been gained by this. I was just watching Suzanne Summers' video about natural bioidentical hormones. Unfortunately, she passed away. She got breast cancer. Well, actually, she only wishes she had discovered about natural progesterone before she got breast cancer, because she truly believed it would have prevented it due to its anti-cancer effects by stopping the estrogen from growing in the breast tissue. Well, she was an incredibly strong woman. She went on to say that after a certain age that the hormones won't come back because you have to take the bioidentical hormones. Look, I personally don't agree with that. I'm not sure whether I agree completely with that. Because it says in the Bible, and I know somewhere it's in Matthew, that if you believe something and if you really believe that, it will happen. So it's like with our bodies, we can biologically change ourselves on a deep level. It's great to have the bioidentical hormones. Like, as I said, I just started with progesterone therapy to help balance out the estrogen dominance I'm going through now with these perimenopausal kind of symptoms, I think they are. But I don't know with the verse, but if you believe, when Jesus said, if you believe this mountain will move, that, and if you believe it, it will. It's like that with our bodies. We can ask him, if you're going through menopause or perimenopause, ask the Lord to help your hormones to shift in a healthier way. That belief will change your biochemistry. And, you know, you can do, you can restore these things back to how they were. And, let's face it, we're all going to age, but I believe we can change our biology, if that's something that you want to do. Other very important factors is, if you want to help your hormones, would be to really cut back the caffeine, get a lot of sleep. Your body needs lots of rest to maintain its healthy progesterone balance. So, even if you're on something bioidentical, that your body's still always making your hormones no matter what. You might need a little bioidentical help, but your body's always capable of making them. There's so much we don't understand about our whole endocrine systems, because there's so much that we don't understand, and we just need to maintain more of an open mind. Women have been so suppressed in all of this. um, that it actually changes your biology, because our society's imprinted these views, menopausal views. It actually changes our, um, it just completely changes our view. You can shift your biological chemistry. Because this is happening for me. I'm feeling I'm getting myself more better now than ever. Even I feel better than what I was when I was 19. I mean, I know I may have been doing different things back then, felt younger. I felt younger physically because but I was a poor 19-year-old girl back then, being stepped on by this really old dude that was sexually abusing me. And I was programmed to think that the woman had to be so passive that she could not even speak up. That's not femininity. That was just a programming of that you have to be passive because to have a roof over your head, to be financially supported, to get all the goodies from this guy, because we were selling horses together. That wasn't love. That was just all, you do this and then I'll give you the goodies, you just be passive, so he was getting things sexually from me, but I was not even liking any of that. I mean, what's that? That's not embracing your real femininity. That's just being a little doormat for some guy that's just manipulating. I really had to get this out because I just know a lot of women have been through this. And this is really at the core of a lot of I believe, energy gets trapped in our ovaries. Even our breast health and our ovarian and uterine health is greatly suppressed by unresolved traumas. I have felt this myself, and I know I am feeling just so much better. Now I'm releasing all of my past sexual abuse. I am being how should I say it? I'm becoming the woman that the Lord so wants me to be, without shame, without judgment. And look, it can happen for you as well. Someone needs to start speaking up, and it goes quite deep. And now at 41, I can age gracefully, knowing that I'm a single woman at the moment. I'm not stressed about finding a man or having children. If it's going to happen, it will happen. And that's another thing. If you are stressing about children, stop. Do not do it. That stress is only going to create more hormone imbalance in your body. And you don't need that right now. Or no matter what age you are, you don't need that. And for harmony and that to happen, you need to just find that peace. Stop putting a time limit on things. My friend was just telling me now to save my eggs. No, I'm not going to even worry about that. Did Sarah, Abraham's wife, have to do that? The answer to that was no. She trusted God, and the Lord said you were going to have a child. She conceived at 90. Now, we know 90 is probably not the age to have children in this day and age. We know that the aging process has changed since back in Abraham's day. But we do know that women can have children in their 40s today. I've known stories late 40s. Don't stress about a time limit. You'll only stress your body more. More important to be with the right person. you know, be with the right person. Think about the child. Do you really want to have a child? Are you just wanting to have a baby because your sister has all these children and your friends are, popping out all these children and you're feeling jealous? Look deeply and examine yourself. Having a child is a big responsibility, and don't have one just because you're jealous. Of course, it's a biological need. We are nurturers. I believe women were made to be. We are the gentler. We are the gentle sex. We are nurturers by nature. But my goodness me, if you're going to have a child because you're jealous and you're envious, and because your sister's got like all these children and your friends are popping out these children and you're just so jealous, I mean, just stop, take a good look at yourself and do it for the right reasons. And I mean, you owe it to yourself to look deep within yourself and to do this healing for you, you know, to get yourself well. And if it's meant to be, really, if he really wants you to have one, it's going to happen. If something, that if something's meant to be, it is going to happen. You're not going to be able to stop it. If it's really God's will, he is just going to let that happen. Thank you so much for watching my video. I feel good. Part of me has really unloaded something else by watching this, not watching this, creating this video, not watching it. I think it's time that I wrap things up because I can't even get that right. So that's what I was trying to say. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. And I really hope you've learnt from this. I really wanted to share some of the wisdom that the Lord is showing me about reclaiming your femininity on this planet. And you can be a really strong woman, and also that beautiful nurturing woman that you can be, or whatever that you would like to do and achieve. Have a really, really beautiful day. God bless. Bye bye.